time to talk about Xal'atath again, but in a different form because she's in the past.
Yes, this has been something that's been brewing for a little while. Basically, Season of Discovery's got quite a lot of lore, as it turns out.
It does, and obviously it's vanilla. Vanilla had a little lore, but no, new lore. And it's not super massive. It's not some revelation stuff. It's not like, oh my god, they've retconned the game. It's, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Can we take anything from this? And as I was talking to Jared yesterday, there was a little bit of thing that no one else has seemed to bother picking up on. And maybe this is because people who, like us, who are speculating in lore, don't have the mental energy to play Season of Discovery. But there's something that's so unbelievably relevant that no one has mentioned except Jared to me. It's kind of shocking.
Oh.
And with that little teaser,
let's
move into the segment. Shadowy figure. It's a Void Walker, but an elf with a dagger.
Doing their best with their limited assets to get it across.
Yeah.
So context so everybody understands.
Yeah, full context. This is part of the Void Touch crafting quest line, where you need to be, I think it's tailoring, leatherworking, or blacksmithing at 100. Then you kill which of the bosses in BFD? I forget. One of the bosses anyway drops a breadcrumb that starts this whole thing, and you have to do this complicated quest with like some sort of secret finding element to it as well. So, but anyway, you get through all your stuff, you get through all your things, and you meet this shadowy figure. You're on the quest, you have this thing called the box. So what happens is
the box.
This dead Twilight cultist that you speak to through esoteric magical means says, then she came. She visited me in my dreams, showed me the box. It changed things, made them better, stronger, such wonders. But the box, it was hungry. No idea the cost. No time. You must finish it. Find it, the box. Somehow it won't stay lost. Not forever. Which is reminiscent of a certain dagger. He can't be allowed to find it. I wonder who he is. I think I understand, but if you couldn't destroy it, how can I? The opposite of the void. The opposing force. Light. Hope. Big plosive in that hope. So you go and I'll explain how you destroy the mystery box. But when you do, all that remains of the box is a tiny sliver of perfectly black crystal. It seems to draw in and consume the light. Which is interesting because I've never seen anything talk specifically about void stuff as consuming light, which is all very relevant. And this is our theory about midnight is definitely true now. You've destroyed the box.
It's definitely true.
You should feel relief, but you feel a sense of unease. It's as if you are being watched. So, this is when you go to destroy the box. I'll tell you where you go soon. This shadowy figure is there. And this shadowy figure is Xal'atath for sure. I'll explain my reasoning. Number one, it's an elf with a dagger. It's shadowy. What do you mean? It can't be anything else. It can be, but from the storytelling conceit, it only makes sense being Xal'atath. How that physically makes sense is because Xal'atath at that point in time was in dagger form. And she had been lost. This is, I believe this is decently after the artifact weapon story of the dwarf priest lady.
Oh, yeah.
So this is, Xal'atath spent a long time before Legion started. A long time, and after her being lost under the sea in after the Legends forever, ages ago. But anyway, she was basically been handed around different wielders, and she was influencing them to do her bidding. We know absolutely nothing of that. Yeah. It's literally, here's the story of when she drove a priest mad. We picked her up. This is all blank. They're filling that in very, very, very gently and very carefully. So she, and also the point I wanted to say is, we'll go through her dialogue, but her dialogue's pretty telling of who she is. Don't worry about who I am. Consider instead what I can do for you. You know, I'm quite sure I don't want anything from whatever it is. Don't you? I wouldn't be so sure. The bauble you have there, the black crystal, is something special, something that shouldn't be wasted, sitting at the bottom of your pack along with bloody rags and crumbs of stale bread. I can tell you how to use it, how to harness it. This should be destroyed, not used. Tisk. Even as we tisk. There you go, being entirely boring again. This is Xal'atath. This is Xal'atath dialogue, 100%. I'm starting to think that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Fine, do as you will. Cast it into the fires of Blackrock or deep into the maelstrom. Make sure it's thoroughly lost. You see, though, these things don't tend to stay lost forever. My point is that you don't know who's going to find it. I can think of no more stalwart, heroic, or just a noble creature than yourself to bear it and take advantage of its gifts. I can show you. Snap of the fingers, and I can show you how to use it to make something truly special. You'd only say the word. And then, fine, show me, if only to stop your prattling. She puts a memory in your head that's not very nice, but you have it. Excellent, I've left my mark on you. And then stuff about whatever. Farewell, adventure, go destroy evil or whatever it is you lot do. It's got that sass, it's got that little fuck's sake Xal'atath stuff.
Upstart goddess.
Yeah, exactly that kind of dialogue where she knows what she's on about. So now this is obviously Xal'atath. They've completely covered, completely makes sense. So this is the part that's actually more important, and it's a direct lead into stuff that we're going to see in the War Within that no one else has picked up on for some reason. The Shard of Pure Light. I've seen people talk about Xal'atath and show pictures, but no one said, here's a big fucking light rock behind her, by the way. That's new. Everyone,
yeah.
She must just be so beautiful they can't see that behind her. So the point of that is, it's a Shard of Pure Light. It's a rock. Where did it come from? The sky. Here's Ardell Dralta, because basically the point is there's these two, one alliance, one horde people who lead you, who tell you where the Shard of Pure Light is in a roundabout way, as kind of like a storytelling thing. So we had this location is behind the Ravenholt Manor. It is correct, Hard. I am Ardell Dralta of the Argent Dawn. I've just been dispatched from Chilwyn Camp to investigate reports. We've received an enormous light wreath stone that seems to have fallen from the sky somewhere in the mountains of Alterac.
Oh, of that.
I believe I saw the light coming from, etc., etc., etc. Just there we saw it. And the same with Brave Stone Torch, who appears to be a warrior with devotion aura. So an early Sunwalker in the best way they can in the classic engine.
Yep.
According to Reddit, he has dialogue about people believing the shard to be a tear from the Earth Mother herself, which is interesting. Why would the light be a tear from the Earth Mother? And he also says, a brilliant white stone that some say fell from the sky. Where else has a big light rock that's fallen from the sky?
Oh, look.
It's Hallowfall.
And
That's
also
a big light rock.
Ashbringer.
Ashbringer as well, because Ashbringer was in the same region and it was a little void. It was a little void crystal that consumed light. And the creation of Ashbringer was, at least the stone in Ashbringer, was that, and you can see this in game, in the old Hillsbrad, I believe. The little void crystal, that was terrible and horrifying and no one knew what to do with it. The paladins took it and went, we need to destroy this is horrible. And they just went bam, 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 and cast all of the light magic they possibly could into it. And this was like or I can't remember who was all there, but all of like the proper paladin order back in the day just zapped this thing with so much light, and then it exploded into this big light crystal and went, well, that's convenient.
And what's left whenever you destroy the box. And
tiny little void crystal.
Obviously the whole
that consumes light.
Long lost brethren thing from Xal'atath, talking about the Naru.
Yeah, so this is where we're at. We've got a big fucking rock of light in Season of Discovery. The Xal'atath is hanging around near, watching you destroy the box off it, going, here is a little void thing that consumes light, which is just like the Ashbringer crystal. And the Ashbringer crystal, of course, being rumored to be a sliver of an arrow or some part of an arrow, because that's what the Naru do. They have that void, they have that light cycle. And now we have in Hallowfall, in War Within, we have a giant light crystal that turns to void that fell thousands of years ago from the sky and embedded itself into the crust, and then the Arathi went down and started worshipping it because they saw visions to actually go and see it, go and help it, or go do something with it. So there's an awful lot of how do I describe this? Awful lot of stuff we don't know in regards to why, but this is very much light crystals that are void, that absorb void or other.
Did Alune make the prime Naru?
That's irrelevant. Please not think about that. Fuck off. Basically,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Don't talk about Loon. They'll talk about Loon when they're ready. I don't want to think about her because there's nothing we can go on that doesn't suck ass.
Is this a sore spot?
It is, yes.
There we go.
It is because I don't know how they'll make it good, basically.
Yeah. That's the thing that I wonder about the light. Like, all that we know of the light is Crystal Boys. Is that it?
Yeah, there's clearly going to be something at the top of that chart.
Or is it just going to be like, oh, we got a pantheon of, there's 4 to 8 people being things that rule everything, and there's a group of them, a pantheon everywhere. Is it just gonna be that? Because that would be boring. How will light be different?
Yeah, Brett and Nimdax. Yeah, that's not the tip of Sargeras' sword. There's literally information like on the website.
Everybody thought it was that because it did look like that, and it was we saw this screenshot like before we kind of got the full lore, but no, that is a light shard. Yeah,
that is a rock of light that fell from the sky thousands of years ago and led the Arathi. And this is the Arathi before the Alliance existed. This is before it split up into the different tribes and kingdoms. This is literally the earliest of humanity. Were led there by visions of it falling from the sky and going to see it. I'm not sure if they were dead ancestors, like you said once, because that does draw a lot of parallels to Oshugan. Because Oshugan, obviously, that was an arrow inside a mountain. Yep. And all of the people went there because they were drawn by visions. So, basically the thing I'm trying to say here, and this is the only thing we can really solidly go on, that isn't just speculating off the edge of it, is this story is about Naru. It's about the light and the void being opposite ends of the spectrum and interacting in a way. Because you use the shard of pure light to break the box, but then the little sliver left absorbs light. So it implies that. Jordan, yeah, the location is on the island, like a new island that will be off to the southwest. Off to the southwest of Kalimdor. And that's where the Arathi somehow made it there back in the day. So that is just Naru stuff. And yeah, I did see that about Elune and the Warden armor being sun-related and the day-night cycle and all of that stuff. I know obviously the moon is going to have sun-related stuff in the Elune and Anshe. How they connect that to the traditionally human and Draenei Naru-centric light.
Can you imagine if they got Anshe to be the Chuckler?
I would be upset.
No, but could you imagine if they canonically slipped that in before they realized it was all a terrible idea?
Oh, I'm very happy.
That also does remind me, just because I brought up Anshe, Anshul, the Cosmic Wanderer.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Yeah. I just said that. I don't know what that is.
It could be anything and it could be nothing. But it does obviously make you immediately think.
Is it a harbinger from another world? Is it some sort of void? It's probably not a void lord. That wouldn't make much sense. But it's probably something important.
I mean, the trinket is called Anshul, and the thing is summoned is called Anshul, which is a cosmic body of some sort. So, because you redirect its orbit, which means it is a planet or a celestial body. In the same way, Anshe is the sun. That will be a celestial body. So you could crash the sun on a planet. You could crash a void sun on a planet, and obviously a sun burning out and becoming whatever a sun comes and it burns out. Obviously that's a
supernova.
All of space stuff.
All the big science that happens.
The big space stuff. So there's an awful lot of that, but it is all boiling around to the same concept of void, space, bad, good, light, Naru crystals. It's all that coalescing around the things that they're doing here, even with Xal'atath. And being, Void Lord, being given the staff by Dimensius, is okay, right? We're on to a place where we have a bunch of light to shadow and shadow to light, but voidy as opposed to old goddy, and quite specifically as opposed to old goddy. That's why they've changed what void looks like an awful lot. It's no longer Lovecraftian tentacle.
That's a different type of cosmic horror.
Yeah,
I suppose what people traditionally think of.
Yeah, it's not
your boy HP.
It's not tentacles roaming around inside places. It's now big stars in space and stuff. So it is.
Tentacles roaming around inside places. So
I know what I said.
That's what's going on there. It's fun. I'm definitely looking forward to Dark Heart. I suppose we'll work out a lot of the Harbinger stuff at that point. Yeah. I suppose it's just, will we get anything from Tyr? Learn anything more about like Titans in the patch is going to be here soon. Then with Season of Discovery and Xal'atath, is it the sort of thing where you think we'll kind of just leave this? Because like even Black Fathom Deeps, that was one of our early Old God spots.
That's
you're getting those whispers. You now have Xal'atath being here.
It's probably all hyper intentional because that's where you get the void touch thing from there. That's where all of this starts.
Yeah.
There's void stuff in there somewhere.
What about the next stages?
Karazhan Crypts. Medivh's back, boy. Let's go.
Karazhan Crypts. Fucking locus of all these ley lines. Which, I mean, come on. Could be something in Karazhan Crypts. If they do the Scarlet Monastery and stuff.
The next one's Nomergon. I don't know if there's much in there.
True.
That seems a bit. And then there's, because we've got new raid and we've got endgame activity, so who knows? Who knows? Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends when that new raid and runes comes out.
This will be.
What do you think level 50 would be?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. It could be anything.
Right. If it is the crypts, that actually blows a lot of stuff open because Karazhan is insane. Fundamentally, as a place, Karazhan is insane. The things that have happened in Karazhan are insane. And also, if it gave you any... Actually, if there would be anything in those crypts to do with Medivh, that could be very relevant to the future as well.
Yeah, now... It won't be relevant to the future in the, if you don't play Season of Discovery, you're missing out on lore. It'll be stuff for us to look and go, oh, interesting. We'll pick away at little bits here and there like we have with this. And it's all like thematic relevance coming together or the same idea kind of. Because like there's nothing new there. And it's not like, what do you call it? Yes, 50 is, what do you call it? Scarlet stuff, I think. I think they'll 50 Scarlet stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is obviously light.
Yeah.
And it could be could draw parallels to the Hallowfall Arathi being the Holy Fire people. And then Kara is probably the new 60, probably. So it doesn't say new rated 60, but it does say in-game activity, so God knows what that means. Maybe they just don't want to confirm it until it's ready or done. But yeah, that's
Karazhan as a new 60 would be real cool. Okay, cool. So they can use this to do some fun teasers and world building, but that's all I think it ever should be. It's Season of Discovery. And I think what they've done here with this is just really good. It's tasteful. It's not a load of bollocks. It's just nice. I don't know. It's acknowledging, I suppose, the larger world and how it is now, but it's still feeling like something that happens in Classic.
Yeah, it's like the Medicine framed it as found photos. What's happened here is we've found small things that that kind of go, oh, well, this stuff's been happening for a while. We just didn't see it before without actually changing the events at all.